Welcome back to the Money Hour with your host and mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell, right here on 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, May 23rd show. It's a great day to talk money, and that's why I'm here to discuss everything regarding your money, how to make money, save money, and build a better quality of life for you and your family. If you're hearing my show at a different time or day, you're listening to a rebroadcast, to talk with any of the guests that I have in studio, to make suggestions on topics or guests that you'd like to have into studio, call and to the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, 1-855-400-1150. In studio with me right now, Justin, Richards, and Yvette Dubee with Keller Williams Realty Bellevue. Thanks, you guys, for coming back in again.
Thanks so much for having us, Tina.
Yeah, thank you. We're going to take a little bit of a different spin because these are two industry leaders in the real estate market, in our local market here. And we're going to talk about everything great about Seattle. And I'm sure there's going to be a few things that I'm actually going to learn because I don't get out enough in Seattle. So I'm excited. A little background. Let me start out with Justin. Justin was born and raised in Seattle, Washington. Justin has made his residential real estate marketing, acquisition, and resale his professional focus dating back to 2005, with more than 10 years in real estate and a proven system for client success. Justin and his team have built a prominent business practice guiding management and executive level clientele in the greater Puget Sound through the home selling and buying process. His background has allowed a unique and compelling insight into the real estate process, contracts negotiation, and overall community knowledge. Real estate is not a 9-to-5 job. It's a 24/7 round professional operation that Justin and his members of his team run at a very high level. And also Yvette Dubee with Keller Williams. The two of them are partners with their team with more than 12 years of corporate experience leading teams at Amazon.com. Yvette brings in integrity and analytical skills to the real estate arena. Her clients enjoy a smooth contract to close process because of her relentless attention to detail and her deep understanding of creativity in marketing deals that work for everyone. Her effectiveness starts by foregoing strong long-term relationships with clients, agents, and everyone involved in the real estate transaction. Yvette operates her own real estate investment business, and as a result, she understands the art of business of real estate from many angles. Again, excited to have both of you back into studio again and to talk about this fun topic on Seattle and all the great things. So let's start out with, if one of my listeners is moving to Seattle area, what is the first thing that they should be doing?
Well, the direction that we thought we ought to go with this was something that comes to us almost every day in our career, right? Is we have relocation clientele moving to this area, whether it be for work or family or retirement or whatever it happens to be. And the question always is, well, what do I do? Yeah. And so one of the things that we always advise our folks to do, whether it be with us and we actually go out with them, which is fun, is go be a tourist in your own town, right? Yeah. We have such an amazing city, or cities actually, all throughout the Puget Sound that offer so much culture and fun to do, especially if the weather cooperates, which is one of the next things we'll talk about. But also, it gives us a great opportunity to figure out where you want to go, where you want to call home before you actually settle your roots into town.
Exactly. When you're talking tours, I say the duck tour and the underground tour are pretty awesome.
And don't miss the Boeing field tour up in Painfield. That's a great one too.
Yeah, I know. I tell people the duck tour all the time, and every time they're like, "Gosh, no, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go on that duck tour." I make them go. They love it.
Yep. Right. It's fun.
So when someone asks you if it's really rains all the time in Seattle, what do you say to them?
Oh man. Well, see, I'm born and bred here in Seattle. I love the weather here. I have had the opportunity to play and travel and go around, not only around the country, but also around the world. And of all the places that I've personally gone, I love the weather here the most, right? This is home for us. Yeah. And so, even right now, it's beautiful outside. Yes, it's 75 degrees, and it is amazing. Like, if you give me this every day, I'll take it, right?
But I may fib a little bit and tell everybody that it rains all the time.
Well, I'm the same thing, Yvette, because it's kind of like our little secret here, right?
Secret, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to keep this weather to ourselves and not let the secret out.
Exactly.
It's sunny quite a bit.
When we get the nice weather, and then the little rain comes in, and it actually kind of breaks it up. up and you appreciate it. The smell of the rain is beautiful. And then you get a little bit of that and the sun comes back. So it's a nice variety and a little bit of a surprise living here in Seattle.
Well, if you've ever flown into Seattle, which of course you have to do that to get here, but if you've ever flown into Seattle on a beautiful sunny day like today as an example, you've never seen green like you see here.
Yes.
There is no place in the country or the world, at least that I've been to, that has the beauty that our area has.
Yes.
Right?
And all the hills.
That's right. That's right. So it's really neat.
Yeah. So what about your clients that are thinking about sport? Is Seattle a sporty city? Where do you advise your clients to go to watch the big game?
Oh man, well they don't have Blue Friday for nothing. So no, Seattle is passionate. Oh my gosh, they're passionate about sports, and so there's great places all throughout not only the east side, so Bellevue, Kirkland, Issaquah, where you can have a great opportunity to go watch a game, whether it be football or soccer, or baseball. One of the best venues, we have some of the best sporting venues to go watch the big game or games in the entire country, right? With Safeco Field and CenturyLink. Maybe we'll get basketball back one day, but that's a whole different topic I can't talk about. So,
But for the folks who aren't into sports, say the women, there's a good percentage of us. The sport of marathon shopping is awesome in Seattle. We have all the anchor stores. We have many boutiques that are buried in all the communities, and it is truly a sport.
Yeah, that is awesome. It's so funny when you guys are talking about the spirit of Seattle, and especially with the Hawks. And my stepdaughter moved from Colorado to here in Seattle, and so we when we played against the Broncos, and she said when she came here, she says, you guys, it was just embarrassing for me at home in comparison to how it felt in Seattle with just how we all come together and get excited about our team. So very proud.
Yeah, you can't help catch the fever.
No, I'll share one thing. When I had the opportunity to go to the Super Bowl back in New Jersey, and one of the things that was really amazing was traveling through the places that I went. I went through Denver. I traveled into Denver, all decked out in my gear, and you get off the plane, and there's more Seattle fans in Denver traveling to the Super Bowl than there were Denver fans going. And it was really powerful to see that when we got to New York, New Jersey, to just see the blue everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? We travel really well.
Yes.
Right? And that still sticks to the home front here in Seattle, where you can go, again, circling back to where to watch the game, you can go anywhere.
Yes.
I mean, the great part about the people here in Washington is if you're a fan, they will welcome you into your home. They don't even have to know you.
Yes. And if you're not a fan, we're still pretty nice to you.
That's true.
We're very nice people.
That's
so
right.
what about, let's talk about commuting. If you have clients that might be dealing with a little bit of commute to, let's just say, get a better opportunity for a home and affordability, what are your suggestions?
There are many different ways to commute around Seattle just besides driving solo. So we have the Metro bus route, we have the Sound Transit that goes, I believe, south, and the Link light rail is coming in too, which is going to be
exciting.
Huge for us.
Well, the Link is really awesome. I used to live in Seattle, the Beacon Hill neighborhood, and so when I traveled out of town, I would just walk down the street from where I lived, and I'd hop on the train, and I'd go right to the airport.
Yeah.
And I was like, why do we not have this everywhere else? And sure enough, we're progressing to that, where it's expanding to the University of Washington and further north, and they're bringing it to the east side, right? And one of the things that's really amazing about our marketplace is the fact that our corporate infrastructure throughout the Puget Sound is truly so different than so many places around the country, right? And so to be able to get to these different things, I mean, we have great public transportation using the Sounder and the Metro and so on. But one of the things that's really great is we have a great biker community here as well, right?
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Redmond, Washington is the biking capital of the country, in fact, right? And so, well, maybe not everybody's favorite if you drive every day. It is something that is very common. You have great walkability, bikeability throughout the Puget Sound, which is really neat.
Yeah, I had a whole show on walkability. I mean, it's a pretty big deal. So it's some great areas for that. What about education? With kids and school's really important. How do you help your clients in finding the resources, and where do they go to find out about schools and the best ones when making a decision of where they want to live?
Well, one of the things that this has become a bigger deal now to me as I'm a parent. I have a 2-year-old daughter, and I'm learning the hard way that I apparently needed to get my daughter in school 2 years before she was born. And so what's been really interesting is to learn, where do I have to go to figure this out, right? And there are some very interesting websites. And I can't say that I've dedicated as much time as I probably should have, especially where I'm at now. But there are some tremendous websites out there. And again, going back to the corporate infrastructure and the people that those corporations are recruiting into the community, right?
Yes.
School is very important. Education is very important. Bellevue School District is one of the highest ranked school districts in the country, right? And you take into consideration the fact that you've got Lake Washington School District and Issaquah School District, which are all right here in the core of the city. They're all trying to play catch up, and they've done a tremendous job doing so. And so coming from the Bellevue School District myself, many, many years ago, there have been
Not too many. You're a young guy.
I'm 30 years old, coming up on 31 right now.
A lot younger than me.
And so the changes that the districts, I should say, have made is very impressive. Very impressive. I wish that I sort of wish that I had grown up in where it is now.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. Now, if somebody's listening to the show, they're visiting family or friends here in Seattle, and they're like, my gosh, I don't want to leave. I want to move here. What about employment? What's the employment opportunity? How are you educating on that?
Well, I think that Yvette has such a powerful corporate background that she's hired and fired and done the things that you do. It's her secret.
She looks so sweet.
Of course, the idea is that if you're moving here, you already probably know where you're going. At least you have an offer potentially with a corporation. But if you don't, obviously there's great websites. There are great people to meet and network. There are networking venues throughout the Puget Sound that allow access into these corporations very regularly, very easily.
It really is 6 degrees of separation, too. When we're meeting people out there and they're like, who do you know that's looking for a software developer? And you only have to put out one email and all of a sudden you're helping somebody else. It's amazing that it truly is. It's about networking and who do you know?
It totally is. And you know, my stepdaughter, as I said, moved here, and it was a bet between her. You guys know the story, but anyways, not to go in a long story, he came here without a job, and he just got hired on at Amazon. Jimmy, congratulations. So it's awesome. I mean, and he really was trying to make a decision where he wanted to go. So I mean, it's a lot of opportunities. Yes, it is. So gainfully employed. What about socialize?
Oh, you mean you've got to do something on Friday night?
You got to have a little bit of fun.
Well, the great part about I would say from the east side, I'm an east sider. I live in Issaquah and I work in downtown Bellevue, but our market area, if you will, is really the Puget Sound as a whole, right? And so to that end, we've had great exposure finding these little hole-in-the-wall places or very public places to go and meet people. And if you're into dancing, or if you're into concert venues or sports, or just having a great beer, or whatever that happens to be, you can go just about anywhere in the core of the city and find something that is appealing, right? There are great neighborhood places. South Lake Union right now is obviously a big one, right? Where the biomed industry and software and so on has really blown that area up, and because of that, they've got great restaurants, great bars, great places to go and socialize and meet. And of course, then you have access to Lake Union and so on, where you can do some really fun stuff as well. Yeah,
I got to take us to commercial, but very, very quickly, just one tip awesome about Seattle. Yvette?
One tip. Geez, I'm such a foodie. The food here is awesome. Go out and try it all.
That's right. Yeah. Very, very diverse community in terms of your food. If anywhere on the West Coast that I've been, there's never been anything better than what I've found here in Seattle.
Can't get seafood like us, right?
That's right.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you guys. What a fun topic and a different spin with our real estate experts. But that really in being industry leaders in the real estate area, knowing our area and the benefits, and really being able to give that information to your clients is really important. And always a pleasure to have you guys in studio. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tina.
Coming up next on the Money Hour, giving families peace of mind by managing all the details that go into senior relocation. Ian Tolmie with Caring Transition Seattle right here on 1150 AM KKNW after the short break.